Hi everyone, it's Tatiana. I dove right into my paper pumpkin kit for February 2020 this month because I was so inspired by it and because I had the afternoon off. So I thought I would show you a couple of the cards that I made. The first one is really quick. I took this card base, which is meant to be a folding card. It's got a slot here so that you can connect it that way. I took it and I cut this part off here that has the pink portion panel, and I wound up with this square. Well, I'm not sure if it's exactly a square. I think it's a rectangle actually. And I'm just going to attach that to a white card base that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 of Whisper White. I'm gonna just place it somewhere about here. And then I'm going to take one of the die cuts that comes in the kit and I'm going to attach that. And I'm not going to use any dimension for these pieces because I'm going to use one of the foam pieces and that already has dimension. And I'm just going to place it here. Then I'm going to take one of the label die cuts that comes in the kit. Oh, I always get this upside down. And I'm just going to put that right on top. And then I'm going to choose the Wishes foam piece. And these are stickers, of course, so all we have to do is peel off the back. And center it like that. And then lastly, I'm going to put a greeting, and I guess I'll use the birthday stamp. And we'll stamp it with what color here? How about Rococo Rose? Because that's one of the colors that you get with the kit. And there you have it. One very fast card. Out the door, you've got a birthday card. And it's got dimension. You didn't even have to use dimensionals because it already has dimension. Okay, on to the next card. The next one, I'm going to use this piece that comes in the kit, and it's, as you can see, it's already got the background colored a little bit. And I think the reason for that is because they'd like you to use, or you can use, I mean, you don't have to do anything they'd like you to do, but I'm going to use Rococo Rose again, and I'm going to take the stamp that comes with the kit that's a large floral, and I'm just going to ink that up really well. And then what they've done here is they've made it so that if you aim this properly, you can get it so that the green pieces are going to perfectly match up where the green pieces are on the stamp. The leaves is what I'm trying to say. So, and you don't have to be too precise, but we'll get it right there. Press that down well. And there you go. Now, you could even go with it like this. If you were in a real rush, you could just leave it just like this because it does look pretty. It's actually almost colored for you already. There's even a little bit of spray here with ink. So it could be done just like that. But I just wanted to show you a quick way to color something like this. I tried all different ways to color this, and I'll show you a card I made with some of the markers. Stampin' Blend markers, but if you want, you can just take a blender, one of these little finger dauber blenders, excuse me, they're meant to go on your finger, and I'm going to try using, let's start with Petal Pink. So I'm just going to dip it in here, into the Petal Pink, and I'm going to have a piece of paper also that I can you know, dab off onto so it's not at full strength to begin with. And I'm just going to do exactly what you see me doing, whatever this is. It's like a twist and dab motion. And it makes things, sorry, I just want to adjust this so that I'm in frame there. Okay, and then as you can see, it's an easy way to color in a flower. And you don't even have to be, as you can see, I'm not even barely I'm actually looking at my camera to see if it's centered properly. Okay, so if you really try, you can even do better than I'm doing now, because I'm barely even concentrating on this. But as you can see, it gives it a it's not a flat look that you get when you're coloring sometimes. If you're not an expert colorer like I am, I mean, I'm not an expert colorer. What I mean is if you're like me and not an expert colorer with markers, this technique makes it really easy to color in a flower. Now, if you would like some extra dimension with that, you can take this same dauber, and this time I'm going to use Flirty Flamingo, which is a little bit darker. Quite a bit darker, actually. And I'm going to dab off until I get it just where I just want a hint of it. And I'm just going to put a few hints of that color around the middle of the flower. And because they're two different colors, this gives it some added dimension. Now I'm also going to use another dauber for the green, and I'm using Granny Apple Green. No, I'm using Old Olive. Sorry, this is Old Olive, because I think that's the color that is already on there. And with the leaves, I'm going to go a little bit outside the perimeter of the lines here, because this isn't meant to be perfect, is it? There. And then for the middle, I'm going to go back and take a heavier dollop of Flirty Flamingo, and I'm just going to spin it right in the middle there. There. Maybe even a little darker. Now, for the little buds or berries that you see here, I'm going to take, this is a Stampin' Blends marker, which is an alcohol marker, and I'm using dark Flirty Flamingo, but you can use any of the pinks or reds, or whatever color you like, really. Actually, I'm going to use the brush end, and I'm just going to dot. I'm going to do a little bit of pointillism here. I'm just going to dot those little berries, just for something different. And I'm just barely touching the edge of my marker, just barely touching it to the paper, because alcohol markers, you don't need a lot of pushing power. And look at that. Look at how nicely that's colored already, because they've pre-colored it for you, so you don't have to spend a lot of time coloring. Now, I took one of the envelopes and I cut it down. So you get 3 different colors of envelopes. This one is Pool Party. And I just cut the front of the envelope off so that this would fit on top of it. And I'm going to attach it. I'm going to center it and attach it onto that. And then as far as greetings go, I think I'm going to keep it simple and use, first we'll use have a, I think I'll use Flirty Flamingo. Have a, we'll use the Lovely. And then we'll use the Birthday. Oops, sorry about that. My head hit the camera. Oh, here's the Birthday. There we go, and I'll just mount that onto a card base. Isn't that pretty? There you go, and there's the finished card. Isn't that a pretty card? And so simple, even if you can't color like me. And I'll just bring in the other card to show you. So there are the two cards, and then I'll also show you a card I made just stamping the image onto a piece of Whisper White. And in this case, I used the Stampin' Write markers, which also have a brush tip, and I colored. I'm not the greatest colorer, as you can see. I used 3 different intensities of these colors. Which colors did I use here? I used, what is this one? I think one is Powder Pink, which is an older color. One is Petal Pink. Yes, so there's Powder Pink, Petal Pink, and this one is Flirty Flamingo. And so a way to get different colorations is just to use different, like to color it once and then color it again. And then you'll get the same color but a little bit darker, and that's what I did here. But I did use all 3 colors. So the darker color is Flirty Flamingo, the lighter color here is Powder Pink, this is Petal Pink, and then I just went over it again with the same color. And for the leaves, I used Granny Apple Green. And what I did was, when I did the leaves, I just colored in every second block a second time. And that's how I got the leaves to look like that. Because like I said, I'm not very good at shading and stuff like that. So then I also added a few sequins to this one. And I think that's a 1-layer card, basically, I guess, except for the sequins. And I think that looks really pretty too. So there's 3 really easy cards for you to make. I'm just so excited. I might even make some more tonight. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.